Cosplayers. What's one cosplay you will never do again and why? Bison. My costume caught on fire going too near a heat source. And severely burned my legs, lower back, and butt. Those terrible Hadoken injuries. I tried 3D printing an entire Iron Man armor. Took forever to get just the arms and they look terrible. From some of the other stories I've read here, you probably wouldn't have been able to sit down in it anyways. Ryuk or any Shinigami in Death Note because it was a lot of work for people to just think you were from Kiss. Haha, that's funny. I used to wear my Gara of the Sand costume for Halloween. And everyone kept asking me if my gourd was an M&M. Not exactly cosplay. But I went to a Halloween party as Waldo once. Terrible idea, everyone wants you hiding in the back of their photos. And you hear, haha I found you, at least 800 times. Never again. Every time I see a Waldo at a con I always think, damn. I feel sorry for that dude, because I know he can't walk 5 feet without someone thinking they are the first person all con to be like OMG I found you. This is why a Waldo cosplayer I know always carries a flask and if nobody asks, how's Waldo, sign. Professor X. THRE only reason I chose it was because I had torn my LCL and still wanted to attend the event so I rented a wheelchair so I could get around the event. So many people came up and sat in my lap thinking I was just cosplaying as him. Thank goodness my friend's parents lived close and we went and grabbed ice packs that we threw on my knee so people would quit doing it. Who just plops down in a stranger's lap without asking? I don't understand how these people function day to day. There are a lot of socially maladjusted people at conventions. Glomping was also a thing for a while. Literally anything that small kids will get excited about. I cannot handle that type of pressure. Not a cosplay but I volunteered to be a pumpkin-head ghoul at a Legend of Sleepy Hollow attraction. I would jump out. The young kids would run and scream. I would go back to my hiding place. Good times. But some of the older kids would begin following me. And punching me. That shiz was not cute. It hurt. One kid started throwing rocks at me while a parent took pictures. I seriously wanted to wring that kid's neck. In front of their parents. And then murder the parents. So I almost became a real ghoul, their behavior was so enraging. I know someone who works at the Dreamworld Fright Nights for Halloween every year and all the staff get assaulted regularly. It's shocking what people think is okay. Slenderman. I got really into the craze back in the day being a 6 feet 3 inches skinny dude. And I thought of myself highly for having been a Marble Hornets fan car before the game was ever released. The issue is that I have a big head, nose. So through the morph suit you'd just see all my features. Including my dark brown hair and smooshed nose. I ended up having a sore nose for days. And the soles of my morph suit were extremely darkened from walking around in platform boots for hours on end. I still can't believe Marble Hornets was made in 2009 and looked better than the Slender Man movie we got. Rorschach. I saw almost nothing under that mask and couldn't enjoy anything. All white? Not at all. It has a Rorschach pattern on it and the paint reacts to temperature. If you breath out, some black parts become white and the other way around. Dr. Roxo. Nobody wants to see that. Coo yeah. Real reason is while fun I have no place to put anything. No pockets. Nowhere to store cash, ID. And if it's cold, forget about it. Also. Seriously. Nobody wants to see that. I kept it screen accurate. No kid-friendly steps. And I wore it to age-appropriate events. Not to mention the costs for all the coke to bring you into the proper Roxo mood. Also reeking like piss and constantly getting your ass kicked by metal heads isn't as funny as it sounds. Goku. Back in college I had long curly hair. And a girl who was amused by it straightened it and used hairspray to get it to stick straight up. Then I used black spray on it, though it was so big, I would have been better off going Super Saiyan. After college I chopped my hair, so impossible to do it justice again. You could be adult Gohan since he has short hair. Graffiti skin tracer from Overwatch. Paint kept transferring from the gas mask onto my face and my mask was literally dripping water from my breathing. It was hot and stuffy and gross. As somebody who used to have to wear a gas mask for work, you didn't get a proper face seal around the edges. If the frame is loose against your face at all, the air redirects towards the leak and the inside of the mask becomes insanely humid. That said, it's really uncomfortable and hot no matter what you do. It's probably safe to keep it on that never again list. One of the 300. I'll never be in that kind of shape again. I dunno. You can fake the hunch pretty convincingly. Oh shiz. One year I went to a convention as Kamina from Gurren Lagann. This is a character that is mostly shirtless with tattoos. I'm a fat guy. Nobody wants to see that, but I had a solution. In the middle of impromptu Kamina costume contests, you'd have these various ripped dudes striking strongman poses in a Kamina-like fashion, and then you had me. Wearing the same costume. But a muscle man costume top that I'd markered the tattoos on. It was hilarious and the number of compliments I got on my idea was great. I dressed up as Robot Unicorn from the Flash game and got hit on by 5 French guys. I'm a straight guy. Also glitter everywhere. To be fair, you were decked out in rainbows and glitter. I can see how that might be a mixed signal. Faye Valentine for Cowboy Bebop. Not because of awkward guy comments, but because of other lady cosplayers that would come up to me and talk about how Faye is a good starter cosplay because I guess it's not intricate enough? I got tired of the condescension. Cosplay gatekeeping. Cosplaying. Wow, that's really annoying actually. Let someone enjoy themselves, damn it. Recruit from Rainbow Six Siege. Everyone thought I was a terrorist and had to leave. Should have got 4 others and made some M870s. Then everyone would understand. Always have a obviously fake weapon with cosplays like that to show you're not going to light up the place. I did a cosplay of the trademarked Ghost Recon character and carried an orange-tipped airsoft rifle with a sling to show I wasn't the next news headline. I also did Ghost and Price and carried the same rifle. The real reason is they thought you were a new player. And vote kicked you. Darth Vader. Wore it for years in 2-hour stints. Vision is awful and zero skin is shown anywhere so it's hot. Real hot. Lots of wiring for lights and sound mean there's always something that can and does go wrong. Lots of kids coming up and randomly pressing buttons on the chest. Plus the cape is hard to control. Now I keep him permanently displayed on a 6 feet 5 inches mannequin. Damn, that sounds terrifying to have at a house party. Just Vader chilling in the corner. Or waking up in the middle of the night and only seeing Vader. Stormtrooper. It was custom made to fit me and I was so uncomfortable in it. It was hot and I couldn't see. I also would be lucky if I came out of it without cutting myself. Well, at least you now know why they can't shoot for shiz. I use a wheelchair and I was a Dalek 1 year. It was very popular and I had a lot of people wanting pictures but I couldn't fit through doorways and kept hitting people. The visual of a Dalek not fitting through a doorway is pretty funny though. I once went to a Halo convention as Church from Red vs. Blue. Midway through the con, I had one of my friends pretend to kill me. I felt so bad for him. Because everyone was screaming at him. You killed Church. You team-killing fucktard. If I ever do it again, I'll claim to be Epsilon instead. Church was the one that became a ghost and then took over the red team's robot, right? The robot was Lopez. Right? Were they offended? I mean, that's kind of one of RVV's most famous jokes. Lucy Heartfilia from Fairy Tale. So, the costume itself wasn't the problem. It's pretty simple to be fair. But it had other issues. Firstly, I have small boobs and the character doesn't. The amount of people that mentioned this was unreal. Secondly, the character wears a very short skirt. I had a few older men follow me and harass me because I was wearing it. Also, it was mid-October in the north of Scotland, so it was freezing cold. I once went as Natsu. My friend then wanted to go as Lucy. So we decided we'd just stick together the whole time to make the cosplay better. That deterred any creeps. But yeah, I can totally see that costume being a total pain in the ass. Lucy shows a lot of skin lol. Oh my god. I never had any problems with my Lucy cosplay. But when I cosplayed Shippuden Hinata I got the same comment. I was playing cosplay chess and this little creep ended up in front of me. He stared at my chest the whole time before saying it as if you could even tell with that big jacket though. He then wound up in front of my friend's little sister and was gross to her too. I was infuriated. This was way back though, so stuff like that wasn't taken seriously by con staff and security at all. Sadly. The next year he turned up at another con and started creeping out another group of my friends. It's not my proudest moment. But I tripped him over. Princess Zelda. I got a lot of compliments. But also an uncomfortable number of guys kept trying to flirt with me. Might have been even weirder if I wasn't a straight dude. Try Gerudo Link next time lol. You had me at the first part. Lord Business from the Lego Movie. Or actually any Lego character for that matter. The head was too heavy. And I could barely move. Via Adam Savage. I have been told that puppeteers avoid having anything mounted on your head. Keep the weight on your shoulders and save your neck. Snow White. I wore it to a major comic convention and people would not let me walk. Parents were literally shoving their children into my arms and making me take pictures with their kids. Kids were flocking to me, only nice part. And parents were pushing each other around to take a pic with me and their child first. I was trying to take the shuttle to the convention and I had a small crowd around me that would barely shift so I could get into the shuttle. My boyfriend at the time had to literally yank me and run away into the shuttle because we almost missed it. The same thing proceeded to happen in the shuttle. Off the shuttle and attempting to walk to the convention. And at the convention. After 2 more hours of this I demanded we go back to the hotel so I could change and actually enjoy the convention. The worst part was people shouting, "It's Cinderella. It's Sleeping Beauty. No, people know I'm Snow White, dang it." Oh my god, I cosplay Belle all the time and without fail at least once every event I get called Cinderella.